Yeah.
Yep.
And then when he says, then we'll hit
Oh,
record and say
sweet.
recording.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool. Check 1 2.
Chickadee check.
Recording.
Okay. So we're doing that.
Am
And
I
you should,
recording now?
yeah, you should do it. Push the recording button, then say recording. You should see
Recording.
like, sweet.
Recording.
Okay, I'm gonna start the stream. I'll be right back.
Sounds like he's gonna go pee.
I think I'm recording. Shows
He's gonna
that.
go start the stream. It's like something my grandpa would say. That darn stream's not working like I used to.
Awesome. All right.
So you're up in
Look at my
Washington?
answers. Yep. Seattle ish.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Renton. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there.
Oh, have you?
That's oh yeah, Boeing's up there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love it here. It's paradise.
Yeah. I've been up to Seattle a couple of times. I did some business trips up there. I had a favorite burger spot in the Northwest is Red Mill Burger.
Oh, yeah, I love them.
Red Mill. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't play around.
Nah.
Their bacon, they have a big old, like, giant thing of bacon they make every day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very, very cool. No, I like it up there. My wife loves it up there. Actually, I took her on a surprise trip. That's serious. Took her on a surprise trip. We were living in Dallas, and I had her. We were flying Southwest, and I had her sit next to the window, and I made sure she had the window shut the entire time. She couldn't look out the window. And I put headphones on her so she couldn't hear where we're going. She just knew we were taking off.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. And so when she landed, she still had the headphones on, noise canceling, she couldn't hear. And it was one of those when we're coming down for a landing, I had her open up the window and she looked out and she'd never been to the Northwest before. And she just was like amazing. And this was like her birthdays are around Valentine's Day. So I kind of combined the two.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the Space Needle, went to the top, had reservations for
Awesome.
dinner. It was, oh yeah, it was like top notch. That was one of my finer moments. That at least bought me at least 5 years of more marriage. I mean, that was the best part.
And do you guys live in California now?
Yeah, I live in Orange County.
Oh, okay. Right on. I like Orange County.
I like it. I've never lived in Orange County, so it's kind of cool to not deal with traffic to like go do something and then deal with traffic to get out of it. That's the best part. Best part.
Yeah. Seriously.
But no, it's been good. We're doing the whole Orange County family thing, so we're always at Disneyland or the beach. It's pretty much it.
Yeah. You guys have season passes and everything?
Yeah.
Disneyland?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
had
used
to do
to.
it.
Yep, we used to always have those.
Oh, I used
just
to
going
have
and just
that.
watching people is fun.
I know.
Now they're like crazy expensive.
Oh, they're horribly expensive. I used to when I had a pass in like 10, 11 years ago, I think the everyday pass was like $400.
Yeah,
now
it was pretty
now
cheap.
It's close to 12. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's but I have a 2-year-old. She loves it, so I can do it for her. But that's why I tell everyone I like to go.
That's why you tell everyone.
How'd that stream go, Todd? Good stream? Was it strong?
Oh yeah, stream. The stream was strong, man.
Yeah, good.
It's good, healthy stream.
That's a good stream.
Good, healthy prostate.
One of those.
Oh, very, very nice. Very nice.
One of those energy drink streams.
Good times. I'm gonna make sure that the show is running before we start. Where's the thingy? There should be a post about the show, which I do not see.
I liked something before I got on. It was.
Oh, okay.
I liked it. I know it's on there.
There's a.
It's on there.
This video. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna pin it to the top. I can't pin. Why can I not pin it to the top?
Pinterest.
Huh. Dang it. I'm going to fiddle with this for a minute because I don't want it to like get buried. Why is it not showing on here? There we go. Now I can pin it. Tis pinned. Tis pinned. Okay. Writing a little post. All right. Okay.
Do.
So let's go to the comments.
That.
Make sure the volume's off. Doing all the things that I gotta do. Do that, down. Hey, Jordan's watching. What's up, Jordan?
Sure.
Yeah, we get some people on here. People watching us talk about Ninja Scroll.
Ooh.
Okay, I think it's time to start. What is it? Is it 8:30? It's 8:31. We can be all punctual and crap. I guess 8:30. 1 minute late counts as punctual now. All right. Is anybody not ready to start?
I'm ready.
Everybody's ready. Okay. Let me get my notes going so I don't have to fumble through them like I always do, like a total idiot. All right. Okay. Welcome to Try Again. We are a movie club show. That means each week we pick a movie, we watch it, we talk about it, and we try to be funny. We give it a review, and we're just a bunch of friends hanging out, talking movies. And the movie of the week this week that we watched and we're going to be reviewing in this episode is called Ninja Scroll. And it is it came out in 1993, I believe, and it's an anime movie. And apparently it's like a classic one, but I had never heard of it before starting the show. Before doing this episode of the show, okay? Last week, Mac picked it, and yeah. And speaking of Mac, that lovely man you just saw.
Just kidding.
Unbelievable. This is a professional podcast.
Wheels have already come off.
These awesome dudes that you hear and see are Mac McEnroe, my co-host.
Wee.
There he is. I'm Todd Perkins, by the way. And we have a new co-host as of today, and that is Brandon Horton. Say hi, Brandon.
Hey, how you doing, guys? I'm glad to be here. Glad to join the crew and chat about some movies.
Yeah.
Very excited to have you on. You might recognize Brandon. He was on our review of The Notebook, which I personally think is probably one of our better episodes. It was a funny episode. So yeah,
I would put it near the top, like near the one.
Near the one. It was a good one. It was a funny one, and yeah. So anyway, we're excited to have Brandon on. This is going to be awesome. So let's talk Ninja Scroll. Mac, why don't you start us out? Before you give it a review, tell us like why you picked this movie.
Okay. Yeah, so I picked this movie because I asked Facebook if they had recommended any movies, and they said this one, and it was anime. And we've never done anime before, so I was like, all right, I'll pick that movie. So that's how that happened.
All right.
Never heard of it before, never seen it before, and now I have. And it was interesting. It took me a while to figure out what it was about until like maybe towards the end of the movie. I was like, oh, that's what's happening.
The ninjas are killing people.
Yeah, like a lot more like boobs than I'd expected for a cartoon. But yeah, it's an interesting movie. I don't know if I could rate it yet. I don't know if I have a rating for it yet.
Dude, I kind of feel you on that one. I've been thinking about it since I saw it a few days ago, and it's like I don't really know what to give it. At this point, I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I liked it, but I kind of felt like Joe DeVito last week. Our guest last week said he tried to watch anime before, and he just wanted him to get to the violence. and I felt like the art was really cool looking, and especially all the fighting scenes were super cool, stylized and everything. I really loved those. The rest of it, I wasn't crazy about. And unlike Mac, I did not struggle to get the plot until the end. I struggled to get the plot until now. I still don't know what the plot of the movie was. I don't know. I don't know why the main guy was doing what he did. I don't know why the chick joined him. Don't know why anything happened. So maybe you guys can enlighten me as we go. But Brandon, what did you think?
For me, I'm a fan of, like, I grew up watching Akira. I watched Cowboy Bebop, Pokemon. So I have been familiar with the anime. This was one of those where it had a very cool, very typical type of feel in the beginning. In Japanese culture, they do love the idea of that solo hero, that one that saves the day. I loved the way that they went about it. They kept very true, almost cookie cutter, if you will, to how an anime movie works and how it moves. To me, it kind of fell off the tracks in different ways. I understood the plot. Like, so here's a guy who is he's a ninja for hire.
All right, he's like a merc. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He's so, and it's funny you say that he's a merc, because I'm gonna come full circle on that. But he's a mercenary. He's a ninja for hire, and in fact, we find that he's like really cheap. Like he doesn't cost that much to be that effective and that good. And so this old man basically comes across the idea saying, "Hey, I'm going to poison you, and the only way that you're gonna be cured of this poison is to make love to this lady who is a poison tester. She just tests poisons all day long, and that's the only way you're gonna live." Okay, so a little far-fetched on that one, but it got to the point where the old man knew, okay, there's a bunch of bad guys part of this gang. There's like 7 or 8 of them, and it was you got to defeat each of them to get to the big bad guy who has the power to regenerate. And he has that power. He has that ability. And to be honest with you, I thought it was really cool because Quentin Tarantino draws a lot from these type of movies, and this was a very classic example of a Kill Bill, if you will. Kill Bill was very similar. There was this list of people. It was a gang. The one hero with a sword and her samurai skills were there to go through the Kill Bill gang, and that's where I was like, I made that total connection. Oh, this is very Tarantino-ish, and Tarantino took a lot from this type of anime story. This came out in '93. I mean, Tarantino was just getting his chops at that time, so I felt a big influence. I'm a big fan of Tarantino movies, so I enjoyed it. Actually, I didn't think I was. My very first reaction was okay, this is I've seen this before a billion times, but it turned into something. Actually, it got better and better. It went off the tracks a little bit when they would show a character, and then that character, I'll give you an example. The guy who was dressed like a NASCAR driver in a way. He had all his checkers. He had the shoulders of a linebacker.
The guy that was running through the bamboo forest, was that the guy?
No. The one that was killed by the girl who blows things up with the rat. Remember, he sees the rat and all that, and it's like, well, why did he have to die? It kind of gets off, but I liked it. I thought it was really good for a movie I would never watch again. I would give the score probably around a 7, 6.5. I thought it was beautifully drawn, and if you're into this type of culture, these types of anime movies, this is actually a classic.
Well, that's cool, man. That's an awesome review.
Yeah, seriously.
Now that you explained the plot, I think I must have missed. I remember the old guy poisoning the main guy.
Yeah.
I remember that he was a merc. I I didn't remember him saying that he had to sleep with that chick.
Yeah,
And so
that was
I
a
think
big
that
thing.
like screwed up my whole concept of the movie because, you know, I didn't realize that he knew that he had to do that to get cured.
Yeah. Well,
Huh.
the old man ends up telling him, you know, if you want to live, this is what you need to do. Remember, that's why she got all naked,
Right.
Yeah.
was because she was like, let me save your life. And the old man was like, you fool, why didn't you do it? You know, you're gonna die. And so yeah, it was one of those interesting plot twists. Yeah. Yeah. There's the Freudian slip we've all been waiting for.
Kind of the perfect Freudian slip for this movie. All right, Brandon wins tonight. Cool. I mean, I guess that covers a lot of it. I mean, I don't know. Did anything stand out to you, Mac? Any of the parts in particular, or any of the shots that you thought were cool, or fight scenes, or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I noticed the same thing Brandon said. The Tarantino's influence from these kind of movies for sure. Even with like a lot of the art, like you've seen that in Tarantino movies. But yeah, like the ridiculous amounts of gore and blood and stuff, very like Kill Bill.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, I kind of liked like all the magic. Like, there's definitely magic. The ninjas are all kind of magical. Like, it's not actually anything you could possibly learn. You know, if you have like bees flying out of your back and
Yeah.
like little like
They had cool,
threads,
but they're like
magic
interesting
stuff.
powers too. They weren't like
Yeah,
generic, oh, he's super strong for the most part. It was like, yeah, bee
Right.
back guy, like that was really out of nowhere. And the
Yeah.
guy that was like slipping into the shadows, that was really cool.
yeah. It
Weird.
feels like it'd be a really fun like video game with all
You know
the
what?
abilities everyone has.
That made me think, like, you guys talking about Tarantino. I feel like when I see a movie like that where a guy's fighting a bunch of bosses, I think of a video game. You know, I think of
Mhm.
like, I mean, Scott Pilgrim's like that. And I think
Mhm.
that's like video game inspired. Like, you got to fight all the lesser guys and get to the big boss and you kill them. But maybe video games were inspired by these cartoons from before, you know, maybe that's where that whole idea came from, where you fight a bunch of lesser bosses and the big boss at the end or something.
Mhm.
But I don't know
Yeah,
because
I
I
don't
didn't
know. I don't know
research.
anything about anime because this is like the first anime I've seen
Yeah.
besides Magic Knight Rayearth back in the day.
That was a random one. Mac and I watched that like a long time ago. That's a pretty cool one. I don't know if it's like
Yeah.
top tier, but it was at the time. It was really cool. I have watched Pokemon too. My kids really like it. I played some of the video games, and it sounds like it's a little kid thing, but when you watch it, it's actually kind of cool. It's like people that collect monsters and make them fight other people. It's just not. It doesn't have the insanely awesome art style and violence that this movie has. And I mean,
Yeah.
and that one thing about the violence too is that makes me like it is I don't really like super gory stuff. Like if a guy like ripped out another guy's eye and he ate it and like bit it and it showed it all close up or something like that. Like it was just like a dude would make a cut and he would slice off like the heads of like three ninjas at the same time, and they'd just like be spurting blood in like this really cool looking stylized, flashy way. And it looks awesome.
It was like raining blood for a little while on one of those scenes, which was kind of
Yeah.
I loved it. It made me feel like if that was real life, like a paper cut would like just across the room, just
Yeah.
spurt blood. Like everyone's blood pressure is like 500 times more powerful in anime than they are in real life.
cool. Yeah.
You know, but the gore though is there was a beauty to it, and in a sense, because I liked how there was a scene where they're in the woods. This is towards the beginning of the movie, and one of the big bad guys, the guy who's like a rock dude,
Mhm.
you know, he has this like sword, double-edged sword, and he's like throwing it, and it goes through these ninjas who are up in the trees, and they fall to the ground, and then it rains their blood on the
Yeah.
bodies, and I was like, that was awesome. Awesome, very cool.
Yeah, that was a cool scene. Every fight scene was cool, but that one in particular with the guy who's throwing the thing was really awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man. Yeah.
All right, so I think I'm ready to score. I think I can score it now.
Okay, what are you gonna give it?
6.5. I'm right there with you guys.
Good call.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Like it's interesting to watch. Like you said, I don't like Brandon said, I don't know if I'll ever watch it again, but it was I don't know, it was a fun watch and
They made a
very
sequel.
Oh,
Did they?
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Apparently, there's supposed to be more scrolls in it. I guess I don't know. They got the ninja part down, but I didn't see many
yeah,
scrolls.
there wasn't a single scroll that I remember in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought there was gonna be like the big boss was gonna like get his hands on a scroll and turn invincible, but he was already like immortal anyway. So
The thing with the bad guy at the end, and he totally can regenerate. Like you cut off his head, and it comes back together. You slice his head in half, and it can come back together. You can kill him for a second, but he comes back together. This guy was like Deadpool. I mean, it really was like he was like the Deadpool of ninjas because you can't kill him, but the way that he died, I thought that was the coolest way to die. Coolest way to die.
Was it gold that he was like?
It was gold. Yeah. So he's trying to finance his own army. So he's a ship full of gold, and
Shipload of gold.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a shipload full of gold. I mean, just a shipload. And there's a fire, and so the gold starts melting, the ship starts sinking. He gets this huge wave of molten gold all over him, which doesn't kill him, but the gold starts to harden with the cold water, and he sinks to the bottom of the ocean. And he's not dead because he can't die, but he's stuck in this golden statue, if you will, at the bottom of the sea. And I just thought that's a really cool way to kill someone who's immortal.
Yeah. Yeah, that was genius.
Yeah, the old molten gold casket.
And it was the Fantastic Four that in that movie Fantastic Four, they ended up stealing that. Remember they did that to Dr. Doom? They got him all hot, and then they had the water go on to him, and it hardened him up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about the old school one, like the one from like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great way to kill someone.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to remember that next time I'm going to kill someone.
I'm going to buy a bunch of gold.
Do a statue. Yeah. First, buy like 50,000 bricks of gold. The rest of the story writes itself. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about before we go on to our random questions segment?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Don't let your kids watch it.
Yeah, it's not for kids. It's
No.
definitely not for kids. It's kind of, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it came up as R, and I thought to
Yeah.
myself, I was like, maybe it's R, like Terminator 2 R, where I'm expecting the violence. It's anime. There's going to be violence. But the nudity was definitely like, okay, they really went all out on that one.
Yeah.
So that if they cut that part out, yeah, I thought it was a really good story. And if you're a fan of anime, you more than likely have seen it, but if you haven't, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think without like the nudity, it was violent, but it was like more stylized violent than like super gory and realistic, gross, scary violent, And there wasn't any like bad language at all in it.
No, not at all. Well, at least if it was in Japanese.
Yeah, and then they translated it into something softer.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever. Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. Okay, let's head over to random questions. We got a few questions. Any of you triers that may be watching, you can think of your own random questions. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this movie, but feel free to chime in on how you'd review it or whatever. Any questions or crap you want us to talk about. I'm going to spit out my question first. And my question is, what would be a good superhero name for the guy with the bees in his back? Now, if you haven't seen the movie, there's a dude who basically has a hunchback and it's full of bees. There's like a beehive in his back and he can like shoot bees out of his back. So what would you call that guy if you're going to give him a name? Brandon, what would you call him?
My very first thought was something so uncreative. It was called Bee Man.
All right.
But then I thought, there's got to be like a really good like comic book name out there, and so I thought he'd probably be like the Hive, something like that.
Ah,
I like that.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like the Hive.
The
That's
Human
cool.
Hive.
Human Hive. Mac, what are you gonna call him?
His name is Al Be Back.
Yes, yes,
Oh, boy.
love it. Puns. I'm gonna kind of take a name that marries last week's episode with the character Ren and the bee guy and name him Sting. Eh?
Oh,
Sting?
yeah, like the wrestler.
Hmm?
Well, no, the
I was-
Sting. Sting
Sting.
as in what's the guy named Sting?
Roxanne.
Yeah, Roxanne Sting. Sting of Roxanne fame and
Plus-
Sting of
plus
Sting
the
fame,
wrestler. Yeah.
writing terrible music Sting after Roxanne, after he was in the police. Sting ties with Footloose because Ren's hair was based on Sting's hair. So
Oh, really?
the more you know.
I thought it was supposed to be like a Bowie thing because they make fun of David Bowie and him.
Well, I mean, I guess every rocker that in those times had the exact same haircut of just like,
Feathery, yeah.
yeah, feathery and really stupid looking for today's standards. Mac, what's your question?
All right. So all the ninjas or all the major ninjas in this movie seem to have some kind of magical abilities. Whether it's shooting bees out of your back or turning into like tree branches and stuff. So my question is, what would you guys pick for your magical ninja ability? We'll start with Todd.
Okay, so if we're limited to what guys are in the movie, I'm gonna go
No,
with
just anything you want.
okay, because the movie I was thinking Stretchy McGee would be pretty cool because that guy was
Yeah.
he had a fun power and he was always
Mhm.
using it in creative and silly ways. If I can pick my own, I'm gonna go for camouflage when I'm still like an octopus. And
Oh.
have some cool name like Octotod or something like that,
Togtopus.
Togtopus.
That's it. That's the
Just
one.
leave it there. Just leave it there. I got 20 ideas that I shouldn't say.
All right, Brandon, what's yours?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with teleportation.
Ooh, I
I
like
want to
it.
be able. I want to be able, like, how like when Batman, like when like James Gordon is like, no, what are you talking about? And he turns around and no one's there. Like, I want that. I want to
Yeah,
be
it's
able
cool.
to like have that ability to just like sneak, get around. I thought the in the movie the guy in the shadows. I thought that was really cool, really creative.
Yeah.
But I'd take it that one step further and go to Disneyland whenever I want.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Boom, right there. Don't have to wait in line.
right in the middle of the fight. Just, no, I'm going to go on Indiana Jones real quick.
And then you teleport back when you're done with the ride right behind the guy and you cover him with a bunch of melted gold and make him a statue.
I would just kill everyone that way, I think. Just melt gold
Yeah,
on
melted
everyone.
gold. Everyone.
Gold! That'd be a good power, just gold hands, like shooting beams of gold, liquid gold at him. Oh! And so forth.
All right, so mine, I went with, like in old cartoons, they would always have like the soprano fat chick sing and it would explode like a glass. So I went with that, just exploding stuff by singing really high notes.
Yes! Everybody's head
And be doing
explodes.
a guitar. Yeah, guitar every time.
Oh, good times. Brandon, what's your question?
All right, my question has to do with very similar to what we just watched. So my question goes, would you have all the abilities of a ninja, except you could only speak in Japanese, but English subtitles would always pop up when you talked? I'm going to go with Mac. Would you do it?
I would do that in a second. Even without the ninja abilities thing, if I'm just speaking Japanese and there's English subtitles, that'd be amazing. I'd be all about that.
Everybody's just like trying to reach out and touch the subtitles. Like, where are they coming from?
Yep. Yeah. Yes. I'm in.
Because there were times where you saw like the subtitles and you could like read ahead faster than what he was saying. That would be scary. That'd be scary because they
That's
would
true.
know like what you're gonna say before you say it.
Yeah, they'd get rid of all the gold before you golded them in the eye. I think I would take it too, man. I mean, it's just hard to say no. Ninja powers and being able to speak Japanese, it just makes you sound awesome. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like the only thing it's like I'd have to get a career change because at that point you need to be a vigilante.
Oh yeah.
You know? Like you need to be fighting crime, beheading pedophiles and stuff like that. You know, like I mean, are we allowed to hate those guys?
Why not?
I think even like bad guys are allowed to hate those guys.
Yeah, I think so. Just trying to keep up, you know, with the changing times. You know, I don't want to be hating the wrong group, you know, or at least openly hating the wrong group.
I know for me, I would take it, but you know, I would throw a curveball out there and see if I could change the subtitles to like be like not just at the bottom. I want them to like come out like as I'm talking,
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
and
Coming
like
out of
a
your
little
mouth?
bubble right here, and like yeah,
That'd be
that would
cool.
That'd be awesome.
that's what I would prefer them to be. But no, I was thinking about it and I was like, could you imagine living in a world where like there's subtitles and people are like, it would just, I don't know. That was my question. That's kind of where I was thinking is that it was really cool to see it and read it ahead, but is that something I would want if it was real? Yeah, why not?
Imagine a world of subtitles, but they could also be hacked. So they say some idiotic stuff all the time. It'd be awesome.
I feel like that's like what the magic, like what you want Google Glass to be able to do back in the day. Just like go to Japan and just like it's
Oh, yeah.
subtitling everybody that you're talking
That'd
to.
be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tells you what they're gonna say before they say it.
Yeah.
Like,
You
nah,
can't say
not
anything back.
interested.
You can't say anything back because they're not wearing Google Glass. So
Oh
they're
yeah, that's true. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well that's random questions. Let's talk about what we tried this week. I actually tried a couple things. We did not do the trying segment last week. We skipped it just because one thing I tried was having a baby, and it wasn't me who gave birth, it was my wife, but kid's alive and well, and he's awesome, and Jess is doing great. So it's a good experience, and yeah, I like being a dad. It's exhausting though, quite exhausting. The other thing I tried is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. We watched that over the weekend, and holy crap, that movie was awesome. Like I think
amazing.
Was it better than
You
the
know,
first?
I liked it a little
Yeah.
bit better than the first, man. I love the first one, and I could say it's debatable. It's definitely debatable, but personally, I liked it better because the character development. You know, I like at the end of the movie, I liked every single character better than I liked him in the first movie.
Because I
Mhm.
did not care for the first one.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
At
This is
all.
not going to be the kind of thing that changes your
Yeah.
mind to the franchise. Like you're not, if you didn't like the first one,
Yeah.
I think very unlikely that you would like this one
The
because
first one just came across as a cheesy sci-fi movie. It had Marvel characters,
yeah,
but it was just a cheesy sci-fi movie, and everyone gets saved by a big tree that brings them in a circle. Cool. I mean,
Mhm.
I haven't watched it. I've only watched it that one time because it's kind of just how I was with it. I was like, all right, that's cool. Quirky, cool.
yeah.
But I don't like when I see like Baby Groot. Everyone's like, Baby Groot. Like they just love Baby Groot, and I'm like, I would step on him and I would let him on fire. And Baby Groot.
So
Like
mean.
he's not threatening. He's not anything to me. He's just a plant.
Okay,
So-
you're hurting my feelings at this point.
I don't know, man. That's
That's going too far, man. I don't know if I can
That's
handle
how I
it.
feel about that one, man. It's just like, so I'm willing to watch the second one if you're willing to tell me it's better than the first.
I say it's better than the first, but I mean, Matt can probably back me up on this. I mean, if you didn't like the first, I don't think you would like the second one. It's the same
Yeah.
cheesy sci-fi movie, but with a really quirky, funny
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah.
And
You
dialogue.
can't think
Okay.
of it as like I'm going to watch a superhero movie because it's a sci-fi movie or
Right.
yeah, it's not a superhero movie, which is what I like about it because I'm really over all the Avengers and all that crap. I just don't care at all about any of those.
Oh, the new Thor looks good.
It does.
Yeah, don't care.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
But I loved Guardians. It was like filled with heart and funny and great soundtrack, and yeah, I would watch it. I want to watch it again already, and I just watched it on Saturday.
I was telling Jess that I was like, I'm ready to watch it again. I want to watch it again so bad. Like I've thought of some of the jokes that were in it like every day since I saw it. I've been laughing
me too.
really hard about them. And yeah, I think it for that reason too. I feel like the first one was great, but it wasn't like every day after I saw it, I was thinking of lines from it over and over again because they were so good. So
Yeah.
you might, I mean,
I'll give it a try.
as a comedy, if you just take it as like a comedy in a sci-fi setting, you might like it more. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Okay.
It's one of those where I'll see if I can find it for free, torrented on some website that someone recorded, and I don't have to give money to watch it. That's available.
All right.
Come on, do
Not that
it.
we condone that as a show.
But since, but I guess I can't then.
I have to bleep that for the audio version. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, fine. Like you might like it. You might like it. It's
I'll give it a
possible,
shot.
but it's
I'll give it a shot. I mean, that's I mean, for me, I mean, I know this is episode 1 for me and everything, but man, I'm one of those when I look at a movie, like I'm gonna love it if I know it's dumb and they know it's dumb and they're playing to that it's dumb and they're like, we're not taking the movie seriously, so just have at it. I'll give you an example, like Spaceballs,
yeah.
Blazing Saddles, Ace Ventura. Like those are movies they know it's dumb, but they're having fun with it. And then there are movies that are smart and they're done so well, and you can tell like it's funny, but there's a point to the funniness. Then I'm like, cool, sell me how it's smart funny, and I'm all in on that. And so yeah, me and movies, I'm very like, give me your message, sell me why it's awesome. I don't get lost in the CGI because I still am very in tune with plots. So I'm a tough cookie sometimes. There's a lot of movies that people tell me like it's the greatest movie ever, and I'm just like that. Literally, I would walk out of it. So I'm looking forward to look to the sequel, but I kind of have the first Guardians of the Galaxy kind of similar with Ninja Scrolls around that level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just okay, cool. You showed me what you're doing, but it's not something I plan on going
You don't
again
need to
after.
see it again. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Mac, what did you try?
So I've been doing training for like a promotion kind of thing at my job, and so we had a police dog come train with us, and I got to put on one of those sleeves and have the dog bite it and attack me, and that was really fun.
I saw
Totally
the video of
recommend
that. It was glorious.
Wow.
Yeah, totally recommend.
It was like a German Shepherd, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was
Awesome.
a canine cop. We also had like some random dog from another police department just come running out of nowhere while we were training with it, because I guess they were like training it to sniff drugs on a car like on a property north of us. So that was random, but
Wow.
really fun.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I also rocked out with we have a new drummer for our little project, and we got to rock out with him for the first time, which was really fun. So shout out to Rupert.
Awesome.
And yeah, that's about it.
Very cool. Brandon, what you been up to?
You know, for me, well, I planned on I live out in Orange County. I plan on going in the water, but I don't plan on swimming with the sharks because It's like the biggest thing right now. Every day they're like showing like 15 trucks in the water right off the shore.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
Yeah,
No,
man.
I'm
Yeah,
interested.
you don't have that up in the high desert, but
Not too many trucks up here.
yeah, not many. But honestly, just what I've been up to is I'm going on a trip. I'm going back to Dallas just to catch up with friends and Texas family. That's coming up next week. I leave actually on Saturday, so I'm just getting ready for a trip. And then wife and daughter, they're heading up to Idaho. They're going
Oh,
up
cool.
to the in-laws live up in Pocatello, so
Oh,
they'll be there for
nice.
2 weeks. So I'll be in bachelor mode for 2 weeks. That'll be kind of cool.
Fun.
Yeah. So for me, it's just been working, been doing the grind, and then just getting ready for some upcoming trips. So not really doing too much at the moment. And like I said earlier, I can't believe my life is that boring that I can't think of anything cool going on. But apparently it is that boring. But hey, it's all good. I was looking through text messages with my wife, and I was like, "There's got to be something exciting that we talked about." And it's all like, "What do you need from Costco?" I mean, it's basically just we're old people now. I feel like, and so there's not too much going on. But it's just what's coming up is gonna be really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds fun, man. Okay. Well, let's talk about next week. So last week was Mac's pick, and the movie we're going to watch in the next episode is going to be Brandon's pick. Why don't you tell us what movie you picked and why you picked it?
So let me tell you this. When I suggested this pick and you had told me you had never seen it, I just was shocked. I was like, you didn't complete your training. Like I could not believe it. It is a 90s classic movie, man. And it is one of those that I hope that it resonates with you and you just start quoting the movie constantly. So next week, we will be giving a review on the 1995 classic cult movie Empire Records. Yes. Yes. So
I remember
good.
I do remember that movie. I know what movie you're talking about. I remember
Okay.
seeing the previews and thinking I wanted to see it at the time.
Yeah.
But I never did see it. It had there was like a song in there by, I want to say, a band called like Gin Blossoms or something like that.
Oh, dude.
And it was like a pretty good song.
It's awesome. It's so like this, like the soundtrack is like, you know how like people talk about like Guardians of the Galaxy and how awesome that soundtrack, like this is like the soundtrack to the 90s. Like this is like the most 90s movie you've ever seen in your life.
Awesome.
The most 90s movie, the most 90s soundtrack. Like every song is just like that turned into a hit and that turned into a hit. And so many people got their start in this movie. It's beautiful. Love it.
Very cool. I'm excited. Do you know where it's on? Is it on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or?
I don't have. I'll find it.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
all right. It's okay. We can.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be able to find it somewhere.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Awesome. Well, that's great. I'm excited to check that movie out. Mac, do you know anything about that movie?
I remember wanting to see it too when I was a kid, but I don't remember anything about it. So yeah, I haven't
Cool.
seen it.
Awesome. Really excited to see that one. Great pick. Thank you for watching the show or listening or whatever you're doing. We really appreciate it. If you are watching, actually, if you're watching the show or listening, you can like our Facebook page. You can give it a review, maybe, I think. You can give the podcast a review on iTunes. We always appreciate those, especially if you really like the show. And we're going to be live every Thursday now. We were doing every Wednesday, and now we're going to be every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. So you can catch the live show on our Try Again podcast Facebook page. So thank you for listening or watching, and we'll see you next week.